In the shadow of Blackwood Cliff, a wealthy son pushed his own paralyzed mother toward what he thought was her final breath. No witnesses, no justice, just the roar of the river below. But he overlooked one silent guardian, a dog named Rex. What followed wasn't just survival. It was justice, loyalty, and a reminder that sometimes heroes walk on four legs. Before we dive deeper, if stories of loyalty, justice, and unexpected heroes move you as much as they move me, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe so you never miss another tale that grips the heart. And hey, share this story with someone who still believes in the power of loyalty. Blackwood Cliff, a place the locals knew for its sweeping views and dangerous drop. Few dared stand too close to the edge. But on that fateful morning, a young man in a polished suit wheeled his frail mother right there, as if the cliff were a stage built for cruelty. The young man straightened his tie, already reaching for his phone as if nothing had happened. To him, the deed was done. Clean, silent, untraceable. But silence has a way of breaking when truth is near. From the ridge above, Rex, the German shepherd, moved. He wasn't just a family dog left behind in the shadows. He had been her constant companion, her shadow in sickness, her guard in weakness. Where her son saw burden, Rex saw devotion. The moment the wheelchair disappeared over the cliff, something inside him snapped. His ears pressed back, his chest tightened, and in a heartbeat, 100 pounds of fury hurled down the rocky slope. The sun barely turned before Rex slammed into him with the force of a charging bull. The phone clattered against the stones. The man hit the ground, gasping, pinned flat beneath the weight of muscle and teeth. Rex's growl was low, rumbling, ancient, like thunder rolling through the canyon. Inches from the young man's throat, it was a warning. "I saw what you did." And just as quickly, Rex spun away. His gaze locked not on vengeance but on the cliff, where life still clung desperately to a branch. At the cliff's edge, the impossible had happened. The wheelchair had not vanished into the river. By some cruel twist of fate, or maybe mercy, it had snagged on a dead tree jutting out from the cliffside. The old woman clung desperately, trembling hands wrapped around brittle branches. Below her, the river thundered, foaming and roaring like a beast waiting to claim her. Every second stretched like eternity. Her strength was fading. Rex reached the rim, his chest heaving. He barked, once, twice, then again and again, sharp, piercing cries that tore through the valley like distress flares. He knew his voice was the only rope that could reach far enough. On a trail across the gorge, two hikers froze mid-step. They turned toward the sound, eyes narrowing. A dog barking so frantically, so desperately, wasn't just noise. It was a call. When their gaze followed Rex's pointing stance toward the cliff, their hearts dropped. They saw her. They saw everything. One hiker fumbled for his phone, the other shouted for help, their voices echoing against the canyon walls. Time was now a razor's edge. Would rescue come fast enough? Or would the river claim what gravity had already begun? She was wrapped in nothing more than a thin shawl, her silver hair brushing against the cold wind. The son leaned close, his smile sharp as broken glass, whispering words no one else could hear. Then, without hesitation, he shoved. The wheelchair rolled, her scream splitting the air like a knife. The sound carried across the valley, then vanished into the roar of the river below. No one was watching, no one but him. That was his plan. No witnesses, no justice, just silence. But what he didn't realize was that another set of eyes had been there all along. Eyes sharp, amber and unblinking. From a ridge above, a German shepherd crouched low, muscles coiled, ears twitching. The dog wasn't just a pet. He was a shadow, a guardian. And unlike the son, he knew the meaning of loyalty. Minutes felt like hours. The woman's grip slipped, her frail arms trembling against the pull of gravity. The dead tree groaned under her weight, each creak sounding like a countdown. Then, voices cut through the roar of the river. Shouts, commands, hope. The hikers had called for help, and within minutes, ropes dangled over the cliff's edge. Rescue workers moved with precision, lowering themselves into the canyon like shadows against the stone. Rex barked furiously, refusing to leave the edge, his eyes never breaking from the woman he guarded. At last, hands reached her. Rough, calloused, human hands. They secured her, lifted her, and pulled her back over the rim. When her feet touched solid ground again, her shawl clung damp to her skin and her face was streaked with tears. She buried her face in Rex's fur, whispering words only he could hear. Words of gratitude, words of love. But not far away, her son stood frozen. The hikers had seen him. They had seen everything, the push, the cold smile, the act of betrayal, and now, justice had a witness. The police arrived before the son could slip away. The hikers' voices were steady, their words sharp with truth. They told officers what they had seen with their own eyes. A son wheeling his own mother to the edge and pushing. The young man's confidence shattered. The designer suit that once looked powerful now clung awkwardly, as if it too had betrayed him. He had no alibi, no excuse, no way to hide from the eyes of the dog who never looked away. His mother, weak but alive, gave her statement. She spoke through tears, one hand gripping Rex's fur like an anchor to life itself. Every word painted her son not as a caretaker but as an executioner. And Rex? He sat tall beside her, chest rising and falling, eyes burning with a quiet kind of justice. He didn't need to bite, didn't need to tear. His presence was enough. As the son was led away in handcuffs, the old woman whispered one word again and again. Rex. Sometimes heroes don't wear badges or capes. Sometimes they walk on four legs, carrying a loyalty no human heart could match.